Alright, today I'm taking a look at Yongnuo's latest flash, which is the YN-565EX. And so this is it right here. And then over here you see Canon's 580EX2. So there's three of these guys over here. So Yongnuo's flash looks dead on like the 580EX2. So it has this little spot panel here, little bounce cards in there as well. In fact, even these little Stoffen diffusers will fit on both the 580 as well as the Yongnuo. They're exactly the same size. So if you have light modifiers for your 580EX2, it'll work on these as well. So a closer look will show you that they look very, very close. And the YN-565 now has the digital LCD display. So you can see this is the Canon here, and here is the Yongnuo. Let me see which one has batteries. Okay, so here's the display for the Canon, and for the Yongnuo, you have to press this button here, and you'll see it power up. There you go. The navigation for the Canon is very similar to the Yongnuo. They've got all the buttons in the same places, so this one has a backlight, and the Yongnuo has a backlight as well. You've got your mode and your strobe and your zoom. Your on and off is over here. And then a little jog dial and enter buttons, pilot lights. So it's, almost dead on the same. Battery placement is the same. Both the Yongnuo 565EX and the Canon 580EX2, they can accept a PC port here. Here's the Yongnuo's, as well as external power pack, which is a cool function for the Canons, the 580EX, that some of the lower end Canon flashes don't have. So Yongnuo has really stepped up their game and added a bunch of features that you would only find in the high end Canons here. So also what's interesting is that this Yongnuo flash will work as a slave to be triggered by Canon stuff. So the 580EX2 can work as a master to trigger off other flashes, and these will trigger the Yongnuos, but the Yongnuo cannot trigger the Canon, so it works only as a slave. But it could be triggered by either a 580EX2 or the STE2, which is Canon's infrared transmitter here as well. So it supports full ETTL. Let me show you that it can communicate with the camera. If we throw it on this camera here. Alright, so just to show you guys that the Yongnuo flash communicates with the camera here. So I have it mounted. You could see right now that my zoom is at 24 millimeters. Turn this back on, and if I change my focal length here, you can see it went back up to 105, as well as my aperture. If I change my aperture, my f-stop here, you can see how that is changing. So now it's at f4.5, and I'm also 2 stops under exposed my flash compensation, which you could see in here. If I press this button, here's my flash exposure, which is down. So I'm gonna turn this, oops, it's my ISO, this guy. So I'm gonna bring it 2 stops over. And then if you look back in the flash here, see it says +2. And I'm at 85 millimeters, that's my focal length. My zoom lens, and I'm at apertures f4.5. So yeah, the flash communicates directly with the camera. You can dial all your settings in from the camera. flash exposure compensation. All the communication is there. The flash works great. So I'm really liking the Yongnuo 565 here. It just kind of works seamlessly. Everything except for the high-speed sync, but when you're indoors, you're not going to deal with something like that. That's mostly for like really super bright outdoor type stuff. But so far the flash rocks, and for the price, it's killer. Because these guys right here, when they were selling, I think these go for about 400 plus, maybe 450, something like this, about 130, I believe. So it's a ton of savings if you need to, travel with multiple flashes. So just to show you that it could be triggered off camera, I'm just gonna put this here. And then you hold down this zoom, you turn the slave mode on, I have it here, channel 3. I'm just going to put this in manual for now. So slave mode is on here. And I'm going to mount this STE2, this Canon STE2 to my camera. So I got channel 3 here. This is set to channel 3. Can you see that? So there you go. It's firing the Yongnuo flash. Okay, so I turned a sound feature on in the flash here, and it will let me know when the flash is ready to fire again. So I'll let you listen to that. So it's an audible thing. It's kind of annoying because it's really loud. You don't want to use it in church or anything like that. But if you're just blindly firing and you're not listening, or you're not looking at the flash to see if the light is ready to fire again, that audible kind of helps. So there's actually a lot of features in the menu for this to turn on, turn off. It's all in the book. But I'm gonna go play with this thing a little bit more. So far, it works really well. It just kind of communicates with the camera. Again, doesn't support high-speed sync. Not a big deal for a lot of people who use off-camera flash and just kind of switch to manual mode. But I really like the Yongnuo 565. It doesn't look like a cheap flash. It looks kind of like the Canon Speedlites. So I got a little bit more testing to do on here. See how it performs out in the field. But so far, it's working well with my STE2 transmitter, or can be fired off by my other Canon flashes. So works well in the mix.